Welcome everyone. It's a new week, new EDUKWEST. I'm Kirsten Winkler. I'm the founder of EDUKWEST, and as every week we are on the search for better education. Today I'm happy to have a new guest on the show. His name is Andreas Spading of Berlin-based sofatutor.com. And Andreas, welcome to EDUKWEST.
Hello, welcome. Thank you.
So you are the managing director and of course also founder of sofatutor. And so to give it like sort of the short pitch, sofatutor is an, I would say, an online educational video portal or platform, if you will. And maybe give our viewers a short overview of your background and how the idea came all about. So why launching educational videos?
The idea actually comes from my co-founder, Stefan Bayer. He was sitting in a lecture, and basically it was a crowded room and a lot of people, and the lecturer was very far away and writing on an overhead projector, and basically it was almost like watching video without being able to play and pause. And that's where the idea originated. And then we met and he introduced the idea to me, and that was about 4.5 years. And then we started like thinking about maybe we could like really change something, like the way you learn, really change the way or use the internet for better education. And this is where the idea comes from. And so we started out in a small, you could say loft probably, but it's not really like a huge loft.
Not the fancy type? Oh, yes.
No, more like a cabin in the roof. And then we did get our first scholarship. Because in Germany you can get funded pretty well for founding something, especially when it is like something really useful like education. And then little by little we professionalized more, and by the end of 2009 we closed a Series A funding with a Berlin investor, EBB, and a Hamburg investor, JCMB. And yeah, since then we're in our new nice office in Berlin-Friedrichshain and on our mission to change education every day.
So we are two already. No.
Yeah.
I think there are many more people out there, of course, and increasingly so with great projects. But I think it was interesting that you said, founded in 2008, and then sort of when one follows your company's history a little bit, then we had, of course, the big launch more in 2009, which is logic. You have to produce content, and I actually wanted to go a little bit deeper in this point, because it's not the secret that with educational video and also platforms you are not the only ones. However, you are the ones we can say succeeded in doing so and setting this up as a business. And I'm surprised, or more, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on what was actually the crucial point, because often I see people or companies struggle with you only get the content producers, so the teachers or educators or tutors, when already something is there on the platform. On the other hand, you need the content to attract the people, and you get the people when there is the content. So it's a little bit this circle. And what was your idea in solving this problem right at the beginning? Because as soon as you get success, it becomes easier, obviously.
Yeah, that was a huge question for us. So when we launched, we had about 1,000 videos. Part of them produced in our offices with local private teachers and part of them from other contacts, from other producers all over the web. And when we initially launched, the idea was to have a crowdsourced platform, and we were thinking it is so easy to produce a video, why not let everybody who knows something upload something? And while we continued with this idea, we noticed that it did not meet our expectations. So in terms of quality standards, in terms of package you can offer to someone. So we are like in this. I think one key decision we took was to monetize via subscription or via payment and not commercial. So all of a sudden we had to create something people are willing to pay for. And this is really nice because it's hard on the one hand, but it really forces you to focus on the needs and on the value added to the customer. And this kind of always drives us and ensures that we're really offering something. Not people are like, I like to click on it and fine, but really people who value what we give to them and who get something back. So that really helped. So by within the last 2 years, we did notice that we need to professionalize the crowdsourcing process. And I think besides our platform and all our product and idea behind the product, our crowdsourcing process is a core asset of the company. So we really specialized in optimizing the production and supporting the people who produce videos and really enforce mechanisms to have videos of a lot higher standard than what you usually find on the internet. So we have like a really great didactical concept behind the videos, and they are like unified in some way. So you can afterwards really offer a good package to the user and say, come here, you can learn this, and it's high quality, it's assured. We have a peer review system, so every video that goes online has been reviewed at least by 2 persons who studied in that area, in that field, who are expert in their academic field. And this is what distinguishes us from let's say, somebody just uploading videos to YouTube. So we moderate the content,
Yeah, I think you mentioned some really important elements that, of course, took part during your whole learning process. I know your company, I would say, almost right from the beginning, at least from official launch. And we sort of always saw that you provided your tutors with tutorials in form of video or simply how to create something or to assist them during the video production. And with probably due to the new funding or also in your aims of getting increasingly professional, what we now see is that you established your own production studio, so where your educators can come and produce their video content in an even more professionalized context. So I guess this was then sort of the next logic step for you to establish?
Absolutely. I mean, it's really interesting when you really dive into video production and educational video. You really see that it has very specific requirements. So it's not very high requirement in aspects of effects and stuff like this. This is not as important as, for example, an entertaining video. But you have other aspects that you really need to address. For example, it needs to be readable. This is like you have to be able to read whatever small piece of formulas or whatever is written on some whiteboard, and also it's important to like guide the person through. I mean, there have been people doing this before, but it has never been on such a scale and not focused on education purely. And those we call them knowledge bits. So our videos are really short, like 5 to 15 minutes, which makes them recombinable and appropriate for various contexts. So you can offer a video, let's say on differentiation, you could offer to some 11th grade student, and then again when he does his Abitur or his A-levels, and then probably in a preparing course for university again. So we do not have 90-minute lectures. This is like also a key concept of it.
Absolutely, yeah, I would agree that probably the attention span is not like on YouTube only 2 minutes, but that you have to serve it, if you will, in a digestible bite is definitely the right way to go for video and for today's learner, probably.
I think a very funny story about television. The first television shows were recorded radio. So, and the same happens in education. The first online videos were just recorded lectures, and this is not the appropriate format to educate online, because there are so many more advantages you can take from being an online platform. And we're really in the beginning of it. It's really exploring the possibility, exploring the user habits. And in the end, I mean, what we have seen within the last 10 to 15 years is basically every industry has been disrupted by the internet. And education is kind of sitting a bit back, basically, I think in Germany, for example, because innovation happens so slowly in education. The teachers are there for 40 years, and it's really hard to like introduce new methods, and they're not used to innovation as much as in other industries. And I think the digital disruption is just about to come in education, and you see it with the textbook publishers. They're like all saying, well, something is changing. It's really obvious. Music industry changed, book industry changed. It's going to happen to educational textbook publishers also. And we're like starting to become a publisher now. From being a crowdsourced platform in the beginning, it's more and more we're like a publisher of digital education content. And this is a really interesting opportunity, because we are so young and so innovative and so eager to change something, and we have like really short cycles, and we can really adapt to the users, and we understand the internet, and we really want to use this advantage to give it back to education.
And do you then see yourselves still in the you as a business to the individual consumer markets, or as you of course are aligned to the official federal, but also, of course, regional curriculums then within Germany, that you could also cater when you say becoming an increasingly a publisher for educational video content, that you could imagine catering the public education system within Germany?
I think that's a really interesting opportunity. I do not know at this point how open and how possible it is. Basically,
I'm not sure either.
Basically, because everybody knows official regulations take a while. So it's like it's not so innovative either. So what we are choosing right now is more cooperations with big textbook publishers. For example, we have a cooperation with the Klett Verlag, where we offer hybrid products. For example, we equip their textbooks with our videos. And up to this point, we do not have like the official textbooks, we're not allowed to equip yet, but there are textbooks like additional material you would use for studying in the afternoon, and those we have like 17 books, I think, by now equipped with our videos of the Klett Verlag. And it's a really prospering collaboration, because they really gain value from it, and we also. So it's really learning from each other. It has been very interesting to see how an old textbook publisher who knows so much about the learning space and so much about its customers and its quality standards, we could learn or we have been learning a ton from them. And they again learn from us how to do online video or what you can do with online video. So that's very good, very interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, the textbook publishers, with all the disruption going on in the textbook rental space, and then of course the digital textbooks. I mean, mostly in the States, but Germany is sort of not isolated from all the movements going on. So I think it's wise that they position themselves and look what they can do and what road to take to make their textbooks more interactive. And I think online video is definitely a way to go. And for you, I think we always have to take into consideration that as disruptive you want to be, there's still, as you said, a lot to learn from
Absolutely.
Established companies and names. And
we're really grateful for the corporations. And it's not only Klett, it's like various of them are approaching us and setting up some pilot projects. And it's really like, it's really good to see that we're like well connected in the education space, and that they respect us for what we do, and obviously we respect them greatly for what they have been doing the last years.
So then, in the overall perspective on how today's students learn, where do you see the place, and what's the importance of educational video content?
Well, the great advantage of educational video content is that you have one excellent, very high standard explanation of a topic, which you can watch over and over again. So basically, you're taking the work from the teacher, explaining and repeating all the same stuff every time. And what we see is, for example, teachers integrating our videos in classrooms, for example, and what they do is they give videos as homework, but not really homework in a classical sense of like doing exercise, but more of watching the input lecture at home and then come to class, resolve open questions, and do the traditional homework, the exercise, together in class, because this is where the questions arise, and this is like the competence of the teacher, like really address the individual need of every student. And so it gives, basically our content gives the teacher the opportunity to focus on what he's best in, and which is like educate each student according to his needs and really react on where he stands. So this is very interesting to see a shift there to how we can educate better. And of course, another great perspective are devices. So actually, it's not very natural to us to sit in front of the computer and learn. So as soon as we find a concept to better integrate on mobile devices, this is definitely going to be a big winner. So, but we have to go some way, because at the moment we're not mobile.
Okay, so on the conceptual side, I see the belief in the so-called flipped classroom model, and on on the user experience side, you think with the emerging tablet devices and of course learning on mobile devices, smartphones, etc., you think this is also the way today's generation is willing to consume educational content? So
absolutely. We do not really believe in like all the set up electronic classroom stuff, but more like in a moderated area where whenever you need it, you provide some digital content. Mm-hmm. And this is really what we do. This is focusing on your core competences. This is really what we do best right now, giving input to the people, like giving the best input they probably find out there. And of course, we're also thinking, if you think about the learning process, there are various aspects besides input. You have like repetition, you have practicing, you have moderation, you have discipline, motivation, and some of them are easy to address online. Some of them are very hard. Mm-hmm. So, for example, motivation in a learning space is difficult. It's never going to be as motivating receiving an email or some points in an online platform for learning as, for example, a teacher giving you a homework or a parent saying you have to study this. It's always going to be the physical presence is necessary in learning. So, but we're definitely exploring in this. So our platform right now offers a chat. So whenever you have questions that have not been resolved in the video for you, you can come and chat to our experts. So we're really trying to address the shortcomings of online material, of videos. Also, like every video has a short test in the end. So you can really check, did I understand what I just see, or did I just watch it and like the voice or the images? So you really can check, did I achieve my goal? Did I really did it really add value to my studies? So that's interesting directions which we are exploring more, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, obviously being a video content producer myself, I believe in the value of educational video. I think it will play definitely its role and an important role in the overall tool set a student is going to have and is going to learn with. As you said, it won't replace the teacher completely, as we want and also need human interaction. You mentioned the spaced repetition model. I mean, then of course also to verify a little bit the problem or the challenge, better said. Researchers are doing their research on with educational video, whether it is how to present the information that really knowledge is retained and not only the feeling that I learned something, but but really that either correct or also incorrect information was learned, and then really to verify the outcome of it. I think that's a very interesting and recent field of research. And then so I wanted to ask about your business model. I mean, we obviously see a lot of video content out there, but as you put in one of the previous answers, or several of the previous answers, it is of course about quality. And was it that right from the beginning, people in Germany were willing, or the parents were willing to pay the subscription for their kids, which is, I mean, not very expensive, but if you have this competition of here is a ton of stuff for free, but it's not in order, it's good quality, it's bad quality, and here we have a provider that is emerging, maybe at the beginning didn't have the the full overview of video, but is really offering a compelling solution. So what was the feedback there at the beginning, and how did it evolve till now, where you, I think, are very a decent or very sustainable business?
Yeah, well, a couple of questions there. First of all, the feedback has been good since the very first beginning. So it was really nice or interesting to see that we started to, like from day one, we started selling subscriptions. So there has not been a day in sofatutor where we have not been selling subscriptions. So there was immediate feedback that we address a need and we give value to the user. And that has been really, really nice for us and really great feedback. And we're working on that. I mean, there is still potential, obviously, to improve the service. And we also, like, we are also connected with other German or international learning services. And we're still in a phase of market education, we call it. It's basically, it's not like everybody knows what an online shop is and everybody knows how it works to buy some shoes online or whatever. But that you can actually study and like educate yourself online with video is not as commonly known. So, and this is like we need to create the awareness for this. And we're on that quest, and we really see that it's going better and better every month, basically. So as the people are more aware of it, we are just experiencing some incredible months right now since it's back to school time in Germany, and we really believe that it really builds up an effect. So like people are just more aware of us. It is more common to use the internet on a daily basis than it has been 3 years ago. So we really gain from people being more educated about this. Which
I always find a little bit funny, because I can only underline how right you are in saying so. Although, like, since internet has existed, there have always there have always been learning solutions. So there's somehow it is a little bit funny to see the disconnectedness of like some people who always found it the logic way to learn, and then, well, obviously the mass of people who need to get used to and
but I think the quality of the services have improved also. So one of our great values is that we really focus on the basic needs of the learner. So we do not have a huge solution with a scientific calculator and I don't know what. We really boil it down to one thing we really do best. And I think that focus on the user needs and on the user experience is something we have been seeing only in recent years. So I don't know, in the early 90s, there have been like big e-learning solutions, and nobody could manage them because they were like created by very systematic people, not focusing a lot on the user usability aspects. And it has always been for us an advantage to look with a kind of naive perspective on online learning. So really hands-on, really what can we do now? What can we provide to the user instead of focusing on education or didactic models and how somebody learns. And this is really important in this phase to pull in this knowledge, but it has been our key factor of success to really get something online and to really focus on people's needs and problems we can solve right now.
And rightfully so, give the learner what they want and what they are willing to pay for as well.
Absolutely.
So, of course, EDUKWEST's aim is also to portray a little bit more in detail now what exciting ideas in online education are coming from Europe, and also showing what in the European startup scene is going on. So maybe some reflections of yours on what's it be like a startup founder in Berlin? And then also, of course, whether there is the objective or if there's a time frame for it to spread into new markets and maybe even go international with the sofatutor idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first of all, being in Berlin is awesome. We have always profited from being here and exchanging with other founders and learning from them and really suck out all the knowledge of the startup ecosystem and of course give something back when we're talking with other people. So it's great, and it's awesome to see how this has really been catching on the last year basically. So we are here like the olds already, like the old people being here like 4 or 5 years. It's like people, know
Let's
you.
say the established ones, not the old ones.
Yeah, we're already the established ones, which really feels kind of weird since we still feel like touching new grounds every day, and we're still evolving so much and it's changing so many things on a weekly basis or daily basis here. So. But yes, it's like this. We're like 4 years, 5 years running. This is a lot, and it's nice to see how Berlin picks up more international attention. So by now we have like a very interesting economics or startup ecosystem where a lot of incubators are positioning themselves around here, and so it's really picking up speed, so that's interesting. Let's see what comes there. Again, we have a few learning startups in Berlin also, and it's really also very nice to exchange ideas with them. It's such a huge market and such a huge space, and people address so many different sections of the market. So, for example, we're like in very good exchange with Bubble, which is the language learning service from Berlin, and it's always nice to just have people to chat with. That's really cool. And on the perspective of internationalization, it's definitely a point on our roadmap. Also, our approach is to really nail it in Germany or in the German-speaking market before going abroad. So really optimizing and really have the perfect fit, and then just roll it out to other countries. But it is also more complex than just internationalizing a service. So we have a lot of content we need to redo in some kind, so we need to figure out that. And the education systems vary massively between the countries. And also the markets vary a lot, since people are focused more on continuous learning, or more focused on entry on the university, or more focused on exams or whatever. So you need people to understand the market, which is not impossible, which is perfectly achievable, but more difficult, let's say, than internationalizing a tweeting service or something.
So what are then the next steps we can expect, and people who want to follow sofatutor, what can we expect from you guys in the months to come? Right now we're exploring how one could redo or let's say we're integrating all we've been learning so far about video consumption on our platform, and really want to spice up our video page and really want to go into how to better present content you need to study, how to make it even easier to focus, and on the other hand, even better to find what would be the next video, and really make it more easy to guide the user. Because in education space, we have a very interesting problem. The people, a lot of times, do not know what they do not know, which is a very interesting task. So we refined our search a lot to allow a lot of filtering and a lot of very fine-grained search to really dig out the exact video you need.
So it's more specific than just a video platform where you basically want to be entertained. You need a specific thing, and you need to be guided very well. So we're really working on this. And also, you should expect to see some very nice add-ons to videos we believe would create great value in just studying. And but since it's not really within the next 2 months, so I'm just keeping it disclosed.
Under wraps, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So people from the audience interested, the website is again sofatutor.com. On Twitter you are at sofatutor. So yeah, the branding is just nice. Different ways you would like to address people could get or should get in touch with you?
No, that's perfect. I mean, obviously we do have a Facebook fan page, and we have people that act on this page. But basically, if you want to get in touch with us, write something on Twitter, contact our support people. We have a phone line, so this is very important. We try to be very human, because it's education, and education originally is passing on knowledge from person to person. And this is what we try to embrace also in our company culture.
Perfect. Sounds really good. So then, Andreas, thank you very much for taking the time and telling us so many interesting things and aspects about your company, sofatutor. And then I think you're definitely pursuing the right path there, and the big potential lying in online video and online video for education, of course. And then, yeah, just all the best for the next steps.
Thank you very much. It has been my pleasure.